This is Chapter 3 of the First Geneva Convention, Article 19. Fixed establishments and mobile medical units of the medical service may in no circumstances be attacked, but shall at all times be respected and protected by the parties to the conflict. Should they fall into the hands of the adverse party, their personnel should be free to pursue their duties as long as the capturing power has not itself ensured the necessary care of the wounded and the sick found in such established units. The responsible authorities shall ensure that the said medical establishments and units are as far as possible situated in such a manner that attacks against military objectives cannot imperil their safety. Article 20. Hospital ships entitled to the protection of the Geneva Convention for the amelioration of the condition of the wounded, sick, and shipwrecked members of the armed forces at sea of August 12, 1949 shall not be attacked from the land. Article 21. The protection to which fixed establishments and mobile medical units of the medical services are entitled shall not cease unless they are used to commit outside their humanitarian duties acts harmful to the enemy. Protection may, however, cease only after a due warning has been given, naming all, in appropriate cases, a reasonable time limit, and after such warning has remained unheeded. Article 22. The following conditions shall not be considered as depriving a medical unit or establishment the protections guaranteed by Article 19. That the personnel of the unit or establishment are armed, and that they use arms in their own defense, or in that of the wounded and sick in their charge. That in the absence of armed orderlies, the unit or establishment is protected by a picket or sentries or by an escort. That small arms and ammunition taken from the wounded and sick and not yet handed to the proper service are found in the unit or establishment. That personnel and material of the veterinary service are found in the unit or establishment without forming an integral part thereof. That humanitarian activities of medical units and establishments of their personal extent to the care of civilian wounded or sick. Article 23. In the time of peace, the high contracting parties, and after the outbreak of hostilities, the parties to the conflicts may establish their own territory, and if the needs arise, in occupied areas, hospital zones, and localities so organized as to protect the wounded and sick from the effects of war, as well as the personnel entrusted with the organization and administration of these zones, and the locality, and with the care of the persons therein assembled. Upon the outbreak and during the course of hostilities, the parties concerned may conclude agreements on mutual recognition of the hospital zones and localities they have created. They may, for this purpose, implement the provisions of the draft agreement annexed to the present convention with such amendments as they may consider necessary. The protecting powers and the International Committee of the Red Cross are invited to lend their good offices in order to facilitate the institution and recognition of these hospital zones and localities. As I said before, any infractions of the Geneva Convention will be prosecuted no matter which side has committed them. Please document any violations of the Geneva Convention to the proper authorities. Thank you. Stay well. May Athena Athena watch over you all. Bye. And Apollo. And Scribblus.